take away these powers. And what are you, huh?
I got you.
Yes.
But if Homelander got his hands on some V1, then theoretically, he'd be like Soldier Boy. Immune to the virus, maybe even immortal.
Like DP one dude's thighs draped over another dude's, both pumping away on some poor girl.
Who talks like that?
Michael Cera's a starlighter? Because we're up for the same part right now, and it'd be pretty good if you got Vanish.
We've been friends with him for 20 years, Chris.
I don't care. Do whatever you want. Go burn every copy of the show.
I loved her more. And this is what she would want.
Wow, they did that. Wow, that was amazing. Bravo, amazing Kripke, you're the best. This is second last episode of final season.
The knowledge that I've seen each and every one of your assholes.
Yeah, we're talking. Kripke knows the comedy, baby. Hell yeah. Yes, Starlight. Best character ever. She's so strong. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The budget. I wasted 7 years of my life following this show just to get scammed by Lex Luthor at the end. No, it was so promising. The earlier seasons were so good. Oh my god. Let's get started.
It actually behooves you to listen to the fan base because they're not fucking stupid.
Amazon's The Boys is one of the biggest scam of recent streaming history. After 7 years, 5 seasons, and 40-hour-long episodes later, they used 50% of their final season to promote a spin-off show called What Rising. Despite The Boys being their biggest and most successful IP on the platform, they took the money which was supposed to go to the final season of The Boys and just spent it on spin-off. And as if they were not done spitting and pissing on the fans of the original series, they released a trailer of the spin-off even before the body of final season was even cold yet. Looking at trailer, it is obvious that all the money which was supposed to go on the final 2 seasons of The Boys was spent on What Rising. It's not even a speculation anymore. Now, before I start trashing the final season and the finale and all that stuff, we need to understand where the problems begin, which was actually all the way at the end of season 3.
Wait a minute, I might have a few issues with,
I think all the problems started when they initially treated season 3 as final season, but by the final episode they changed their mind and they're like, you know what, no, we want to drag the story out for a few more seasons. That's why season 4 and 5 always felt kind of awkward. In season 3, Butcher and Huey start using Temp V and they get their powers. Now, I actually really like it. It was very entertaining and I love that Butcher finally crossed the line and became a soup himself. But for me, that felt like Endgame. Once Butcher gets power, it's over. The only thing you can do after that is make him and Homelander fight each other to death and end the story. Because one of the big threat, the way, we always felt anxiety whenever Homelander was around Huey or Butcher, because it was terrifying. Homelander could go and snap their necks anytime he wanted. They didn't have anything against him. But once Butcher is no longer vulnerable, their interactions are kind of boring. That urgency is gone. And same happens with Homelander. Homelander's character works because he always has some kind of resistance. The fundamental issue being his need to be loved and accepted, celebrated by everyone. And that ends up being held as leverage against him all the time. In season 1, we had the mommy. In season 2 and 3, we had Stan Edgar and Stormfront doing this stuff. We also had Queen Maeve using that airplane footage against him as leverage. As long as Homelander feels cornered and he's unable to unleash all of his anger and power, he is entertaining to watch. And the final thing for his character should be that he is in control of everything. He has no resistance and he's doing whatever he wants. But then show needs to end immediately then. But instead of doing that, when you make Homelander powerful for 2 whole seasons, like he doesn't have any resistance, and only thing he does in season 4 and 5 for the most part is that I want people to love me, but they won't love me. And that's all he does, which is incredibly boring. So to me, it always felt like that the show had clear momentum till the end of season 3. Then it literally paused itself for 2 whole seasons. And we finally got the ending that we should have gotten at the end of season 3. Think about it, the show leaned way too much into political issues, not because they wanted to give out message, or I disagree with the message. I like how the show makes fun of a lot of the extremist people out there. However, the show is using it as a cover to pad out the time. Same with introducing new superheroes, they never feel at home. Think about Noir as well, like his story clearly ended in season 3. It was kind of dumb how he gets one shot by Homelander, that's whole another story. However, his character arc concluded. But then we get this fake Noir. They try to make jokes with it, give him conflict with the Deep. They make us care about his acting career and his... I don't care. Noir's storyline was done. You're literally creating a fake version of him to drag story out. During this time, even Starlight doesn't progress in any way with her powers. We do get some good character developments. I like what they did with A-Train, but for the most part, it's same shit over and over again. Butcher getting power in season 3 was amazing, but at the end of season 4, he just got more powerful now. That's it. You could have easily transferred this Butcher with glowing eyes into a villain. You didn't need entire 4th season to drag it out.
At the end of the day, we're here to service you guys.
So now I'm going to quickly run through episode 1 to 8 from season 5. I'm not trying to do a recap, I'm just trying to show you what are the exact moments where plot actually progressed and for how long nothing progressed and they were literally frozen just to fill out the time. So episode 1 is actually pretty good. Things do happen. They escape the concentration camp, the whole team gets back together. We also get death of a legacy character, A-Train. I really loved how A-Train treated Homelander at the very end. He was genuinely not scared of him anymore. Really fun episode. But that's the trick. It is just to hook us in and trick us into thinking that, oh, it's gonna be really good. They killed A-Train in first episode? Damn, I wonder what's gonna happen in episode 2, 3, 4. Not much actually. So episode 2, I have to say technically the plot does progress, but not for good. So here they have to test out the virus. It's like, okay, the virus is ready. We need to apply it to some superhero and check if it actually works. So they go to Rockman and they test it on him. Soldier Boy comes back. He gets involved in all of this. And the big takeaway from this episode was that, hey, any superhero who has taken the V1 serum, original serum that turned people into superheroes, anyone with V1, they don't get affected by the virus. Now, as a shock value, it was nice as how Soldier Boy gets up and the boys are shocked. Oh my god, how is he alive? Why didn't the virus kill him? Oh no! But that actually sucks, and it is the clear beginning of the scam. So until this point, the carrot on the stick was virus. Like, okay, chase the virus. Once you get the virus, it is all over, right? Like chase virus, chase virus. And then, you know what? It's getting a little bit boring. So instead of virus, now you will chase V1. The different MacGuffin. It's gonna be amazing. And from episode 3, the true garbage begins. So here's what happens in episode 3. The boys, they go to Stan Edgar because they think, you know, that this guy used to run WAT and he should definitely know where V1 is. They go to his house. Nothing actually happens plot-wise, and actually Stan Edgar gets kidnapped by Homelander instead because, you know, Homelander also wants the V1 because that will make him immortal. That's it. That's the episode 3. Then we go to episode 4 and it's the same thing again. But instead of going to Stan Edgar, this time the boys go to some abandoned place. Like they go to this place searching for V1. It's like, where's V1? Where's V1? Where's V1? Well, there is no V1. This entire episode like kind of leads to nothing in terms of V1. Then we go to episode 5 and it's the same thing again. But this time Homelander goes to Stan Edgar. It's like, hey, where's the virus? I don't know, but Mr. Marathon might know it. So they go to Mr. Marathon, and Mr. Marathon is like, I don't know, but Bombsight might have it. And then that's it. That's the episode. Then we get to episode 6, and you realize they just repeated episode 5. So here's what happens in episode 6. This time the boys go to this old man. He's like, hey, where's the wee one? And he's like, I don't know, but this old lady might. So boys go to the old lady, and the old lady's like, I don't know, but Bombsight might have it. And then in the episode 6, after 4 whole episodes, right? Finally, the plot progresses in clear sense. Homelander takes V1, they give us this fake-ass cliffhanger, and the episode ends. Sure, it does happen in extremely stupid way. I'm not denying that, but hey, plot at least progressed. However, during these 4 episodes, something did progress. Do you know what? Advertisement for What Rising. In all 4 episodes, Soldier Boy is there just to do things for What Rising, the upcoming spin-off. In every episode, something moderately interesting might happen, and you're like, oh, what's going on? And then you think, it's for the spin-off. That's it. So, we are already 6 episodes deep into the final season, and the plot has barely progressed. Then we get to the episode 7, the penultimate episode. Oh my god. The V1 that they were teasing for 4 whole episodes. They told us that if Homelander gets it, it's done. He will become immortal. The most evil man on this planet will be immortal. It will be crazy, right? And Homelander, they showed us that he's a psychopath, right? He can do anything. So, what did Homelander do after getting V1? Option A, he destroyed an entire city. Option B, he killed a bunch of kids, right? Option C, he destroyed the Watt Tower. D, he destroyed the entire Pentagon and the military. And the correct answer is option E, he built a goddamn theme park. Okay, he does kill Frenchie, another legacy character in this episode, but even that death happens off screen. What is wrong with this show? God damn it. And that's it. That's the entire second last episode. Homelander kills Frenchie. That's it. I mean, there's also another thing. They turn Kimiko into Soldier Boy. But as we know, that is incredibly stupid. So I don't know if I should even count it. But I guess. Then we get to episode 8. And this is where Copium was at all-time high. And everyone's like, okay, you know what? Maybe they saved the budget for this. We will get aerial fights like Homelander and Starlight in the sky. They're gonna go crazy. So in this entire episode, Homelander kills one person. That person happens to be some knockoff Elon Musk. And even that death happens off screen. Oh my god. Yeah, that's literally the only damage Homelander did in this episode. And then the boys come in and they kill Homelander in the very first attempt. After 5 seasons of build-up. And you must be wondering, like, what about Homelander and his God complex? That's a big part of the show. Yeah, here's how it goes. In season 4, Homelander is upset that, hey, I'm almighty, I'm powerful, but still nobody loves me. Instead, everyone ends up being scared of me, and I don't like it. That was him in season 4. And do you know how he behaves in season 5? At the final moment before he dies, at the end of season 5 series finale? I'm powerful, I'm in control. I want people to love me, but instead they just keep getting scared, and I hate it. There's zero progression. This is even worse than the virus and V1 plotline.
This season has caused some division. And
I want to quickly talk about how Amazon actually tricks people with budget, the facade. So basically, what they do is they give the first couple of seasons really high budget. Especially season 1 had like some crazy budget, and you can see it looks very expensive. And once they realize that the show is doing well and people are really into it, they immediately start cutting corners. It's like, okay, people are invested. Even if season 4 and 5 look kind of bad, they will watch it anyway because they want some kind of resolution. It is very short-sighted and short-term thinking, but they don't care. They're like, okay, we can make money right now, we will. Who cares about if the show has good legacy or not? They also did not hesitate from becoming a parody of themselves. The entire earlier seasons of The Boys was about making fun of the superhero genre, right? Like DC, Marvel, make fun of the cliches, the stupidity of the genre and whatnot. And a lot of it was good. It was really good. This show was very edgy, it had some really strong commentary to make. Right now, this is not the same. They have 2 spin-offs, just like any other superhero stuff, completely ruined their final season just to promote that spin-off. And they also added 2 extra seasons just for seeking more money, how all the superhero sequels do. They are no longer any different from the media they were criticizing, but it's Amazon, they don't have any shame. Not to talk about the blatant misleading posters. This never happens in the show. This poster is just straight up false advertising, so is this one. Finale did not look like that. It's just complete lies. Another thing they love is having this fake cliffhangers. At the end of season 3, you are completely confused. Just, what are they gonna do in season 4? Like, you have genuine curiosity what's gonna happen, and then you realize that, oh, not much. They just introduced some bullshit virus. Then at the end of season 4, they again do this crazy cliffhanger, like Kimiko is talking again, Starlight is flying, what? Butcher killed Newman? Completely crazy. And then what happens at the beginning of season 5? A time skip. Gee, I wonder where I saw this recently. So Kimiko talking ended up being annoying. Butcher turning into villain, he literally does nothing that crazy after killing Newman the entire season 5. Starlight flying, she just saves Huey and pushes Deep little bit further. That's it. That's only thing he does in entire season 5. Is this fake cliffhangers. And everyone knows about the ending of episode 6, right? This season 5. Homelander shooting beams in the sky. Oh, we really need to get people excited for the second last episode, which is usually the best in any good series, right? People are crazy. So what happens immediately after, Homelander shoots laser in the sky? Got the V1? Time skip. Do something crazy, then skip time. Even they literally had Butcher run like we are in big trouble, and then it's like no trouble. They just left there safely, hunky dory. Hey.
And I respect it when a criticism is leveled in an articulate way.
So let's look at the consequences of taking away budget from the final season. Even before I start, I'm still upset. They blew billions of dollars on Rings of Trash, absolute garbage of a show. And they didn't have money for their best-selling show. What is wrong with these people? Okay, so because we didn't have budget, the entire world of The Boys just doesn't feel the same. You never feel any sense of scale. Look at the scene where Homelander takes over White House. It just cuts to him inside the Oval Office. We never see anything from the outside, him entering, any big movement of him flying around it. Nothing. There are also barely any extras. Usually we used to see, like a big crowd of people. It felt like cities were lived in. That was completely gone. Entire season this time was, oh, here's a group of people inside a room. Cut to another group of people inside the room. Then cut to people in some random jungle-ish area. And then cut to people another inside of the room. That's it. That's the whole season. Think of early seasons, the entry of fake Wonder Woman, right? That was crazy. Homelander destroying the plane, epic. Deep with his veil and the boys ramming into it. That was some crazy fun stuff. We don't even get the fake dream scenario. You know how we used to get when Homelander thinks about lasering crowd of people? We don't even get that. People say that it's apocalyptic, extremism is on the rise, there are this concentration camp, there's so much trouble. But we never see any of it. It's just people telling each other, and that's it. We also no longer have any creative deaths. Earlier, people used to die in the craziest way possible, but now it's just head blown up or neck snap, and that's it. Also, we did not get any underwater scenes, even though it would have been amazing, like Deep doing something crazy. We also did not get any aerial combat. We never see 2 superheroes flying in the air, fighting and whatnot. Nothing. What we did get was one terrible, like really terrible slow motion scene with A-Train, just literally dollar store X-Men Days of Future Past. However, we did have money. We did have money for Kripke buddies to do cameos and collect their paychecks. We also had money for Samuel L. Jackson just to play a goddamn shark. Like, what the hell? The spoof commercials, those fake trailers from earlier season, Dawn of the Seven and whatnot, they had higher budget and better production values than the actual episodes from season 5. How do you go this low?
I don't take that lightly, and I don't take it for granted. And
So one thing I've noticed lately on social media that every time a TV show starts doing terrible or the final season suck, the immediate go-to is screw the writers, fuck them, they don't know anything, they ruined the show, they suck, yeah! And that makes me upset because all of this anger first should actually go towards the producer because 99.9% of the time they are the one responsible for ruining the show. You do realize writers are just like actors or like any other work. They are hired gun. They have to do what producers tell them to do. Just imagine how difficult it must be to work on a show like this. You're a writer and you're just like, then Homelander flies away like the little bitch that he is, and it's gonna be really amazing. Yes, boss. So you're working on season 3, right? Yes, boss. Season 3. Like, we're wrapping it up. It's coming together really good. Actually, I need you to make it 5 seasons now instead of 3. Just figure out a way to stretch it out for 16 more episodes. That's not how it works. It will be just a lot of filler content. It's not that easy to just make it up. We are on a really good pace. Just do it, okay? Just do it. Fine, I'll try. Also, I know you're working on The Boys, but the ratings are really good, so we have decided to do a spin-off show called Gen V, and you will be working on that as well. Are you kidding me? Do you realize how time-consuming this is? I cannot work on 2 shows at the same time. Do you want to pee in a cup? Because I can make that happen. Do you want to go work at a warehouse? I'll do it. Just a little bit of overtime here and there, a few sleepless nights. I'll figure it out. It's okay. Oh yeah, and I also forgot to tell you that you don't have that much budget for season 4 and 5. What do you mean? It's your #1 show. It's bringing in insane amount of viewership. Why would you do that? Shouldn't you be spending more money on this? Actually, no. We figured out that people are emotionally invested anyway, so they will watch it regardless of the quality, even if just to find out how the show ends. So figure out a way to do it with less than half of the budget now. That's not... How am I supposed to do that? Oh, by the way, we are doing second spin-off as well. It's called What Rising. So 4 episodes in season 5, I need them to be an advertisement for What Rising. So figure out a way to, do something with Soldier Boy and get people excited for that What Rising spin-off. It's gonna be amazing when people see that stuff in season 5 of Boys. I hate my life. But at least I still have time to do way too much political commentary and ruin all the scenes by forced vulgar jokes. Fans will love it.
And if you have an opportunity to listen to the fan base...
Okay, so I did my part of defending the writers and the necessary amount of slack they get. However, in the final season and season 4 as well, there were plenty of things that they just did poorly. And it cannot be blamed on the producers, the budget cuts, or stretching out the seasons. Now, initially I thought, that writers are just being overly edgy and they're getting carried away with their humor, but that's not the case. It's actually very intentional, and once you notice the pattern, you cannot unsee it. You will notice that they intentionally write these vulgar jokes to avoid writing something actually meaningful. I can explain. Look at French's eulogy, right? He's dead and you need to create an emotional moment. But why do that? Just make a bunch of vulgar jokes about bumhole in his eulogy and you're done. Second, Kimiko is finally talking in season 5. It's a really big moment. It will be very interesting to see how she interacts with Frenchie. Their chemistry will be on next level. What kind of really vulnerable things she wants to talk about. Why do that? Just make an excuse that she saw a bunch of TikTok and just do a bunch of vulgar jokes. You're done.
Like the better with a mouth shut.
3. You're in the second last episode and you need to figure out what to do with Dogman and Catgirl, like how to make them work in the episode. Why do that? Just make them sniff each other's butt and make some vulgar jokes and you're done. 4. Soldier Boy is here promoting What Rising and you need to figure out how he interacts with the rest of the cast. Why do that? Just make him crack a joke about sex every single time he's on screen. And you're done. 5. You have a bunch of characters from Supernatural and they're doing cameos. You can do something interesting with them, right? Why do them? Just show them as creepy people and do as many vulgar or pointless jokes you can do. And you're done. 6. So we are in final season, right? Hugh and Starlight, they will be together for the very last time. It will be amazing. We need to show how they bond together. Why do that? Just make them point at clouds and bunch of jokes about rabbit dicks and you're done. Why bother? 7. You have new character called Oh Father. That's really cool. Oh, he's gonna work as Homelander's private man to, make people like him. And we need to make his character and Ashley both very interesting. So how do we do that? Just throw in a bunch of BDSM jokes. Why bother? 9. So we have Terror and Butcher, right? Like we need to show their bond, like how they're close together. So in the last episode when we use it as plot device, it will be effective, right? So how do we show their bond? Easy. Just show that Terror is having dreams about humping Homelander and wanting to do with him on regular basis. And we're done. These were only few of the examples that I could come up with, but if you rewatch the whole season, you will realize it's all over the place.
Clara used to say the craziest shit.
Plenty of other things as well, which were downright garbage because writers simply did not care. First of all, Oh Father. Why does this character have so much screen time? Can you explain? I understand that you are using it to, do the Homelander God complex and all that jazz. I get it. But he's the character that survives all the way into the finale just to die as a joke. The actor is good. The costume is also really good. But the character itself was just downright terrible. There wasn't a single moment with this character where I thought, you know what? I'm glad that guy's here. He made the show more interesting and entertaining. That character just sucked. Also, Mother's Milk. Like, what were they doing with him for the entire season? I mean, Butcher is lead. Franchi, we need him for the virus. Huey is moral compass. Kimiko is the weapon. What is Mother's Milk doing this season? Same with Ashley's character. How much are you gonna just flip-flop with that character? At one point, like, she suddenly has good heart and she wants to do something good, but then, oh no, she's actually evil and she just wants to give into it, and just keep doing it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we are still stuck on that same expression and emotion that she is terrified of Homelander ever since the beginning of the series. And that's it. She gets her redemption in the final episode. Suddenly, she just opens a door and that's it. Same with her superpower of Bashley. It's just literally feels like writers were like, you know what, it would be really crazy, guys, if she has like a head in the back and it's look really gross and it's like, we're funny, guys, we're crazy. It's not. It was just annoying. I also really hated the entire rivalry between Deep and Noir. Noir was already a completely unnecessary character, but Deep needed to do something, so I guess they made it up. But I don't care about Noir and his acting classes. Maybe use that screen time to build something up with the key cast members. I don't know. Not to mention his really stupid death. This guy can fly, but we never see him in action. The one time he does something like blow up the pipeline, we don't get to see it because I guess budget issues. There's also this moment where they all get mad at each other in that abandoned place. I really like the idea, that they all have this pent-up emotion inside towards each other and they just want to yell it out. Great. But the way it happens, because of a fungus, could you really not come up with a better excuse? Could it not be more natural and like more woven into the plot and characters? Literally just a magic fungus comes up and they all just take out all of their frustration. Also, what was the purpose of giving Homelander V1? What did that do? He dies immediately in like one episode after that. He didn't become more powerful. We never even got to do anything with it. What was the entire purpose of that? And was it the only way you could figure out how Soldier Boy gives V1 to Homelander? Wasn't there any better way other than Clara? You literally retconned Soldier Boy's character. I think they even changed his love interest because he liked somebody else before that, no? So they made him fall in love with Stormfront just so that they can use it as an excuse for Homelander getting V1. I cannot even put it in words. It's just so incredibly stupid. This is what Clara would have wanted. God damn it. I mean, for Soldier Boy, I will cut them a little bit of slack because, he was literally there to promote War Rising, and it must have been difficult to write him in middle of all of this. Every single problem that I mentioned with humor and this as well is there because writers simply did not care about making a good episode. But these things cannot be blamed on anybody else. And these are just some of the examples. I can sit here all day just to point out the ridiculousness, the stupidity of entire season 4 and 5. and season 3 as well. Like there are some really stupid stuff in there.
I am personally offended by the way you are talking.
Let's make this one progressively worse. First, we have the podcaster, meaning Firecracker. I think her character, by the end, I realized had a lot of potential, but it kind of got wasted. The big problem was that her character was directly tied to one of the annoying parts of the show, which was its excessive political commentary. And on top of that, she kind of became this enemy of Starlight in season 4, like the way she was introduced, like they go against each other and whatnot. And I never enjoyed her character that much, to be honest. Her taking medicines to, get close with Homelander. Never liked the character until the very last episode where she actually dies. That made me realize that, they could have done so much with this character, especially, this idea of her struggling with her faith. She really genuinely just wants to please Homelander in any way possible, and she abandoned her faith in the last episode. However, I feel like that came in a bit too late. See, normally I get annoyed when this show keeps making character go back and forth, whether it's Ryan or Soldier Boy or whatever. Like, they once do this and then do that. But nope, I'm back again. Now I'm back to this. Everyone hates this, right? However, I think Firecracker is one of that character who would have benefited from this. Her consistently going back and forth on her faith and just pushing herself beyond limits to please Homelander was amazing. And I think the commentary on faith and how it works and how people base their entire identity on it is important. And even though it felt extremely rushed because they literally set up this entire dynamic in the same episode where she dies, which I think was a bit late, but still, when she died, I kind of felt bad. Not for her, like she was a racist scumbag, but this idea that Homelander ended up killing the only person who genuinely was devoted to him while still desperately searching devotees. The irony of that scene was beautiful. For me, I would label her as wasted potential.
You put the ring on her finger, Huey.
Now we have Trashlight, aka Annie, aka Starlight. This character has been stagnant for, I think, 2 seasons now. At the end of season 4, they did try to, give us a little bit of she's gonna fly, and I'm not gonna lie, like when she takes off, that was badass. I genuinely enjoyed it. But for the most part, she has become only one word: annoying. Like her entire dynamic with Huey sucks. And most frustrating part that everyone agrees is that she cannot fight worth shit. Everyone had patience because they kept thinking that, now she will get stronger and like whoop some ass, like it's gonna be badass, it's gonna be amazing. That didn't happen all the way till the end of the show. I mean, she was already difficult to like after season 4, when she got upset at Huey for getting sexually assaulted. That gaslighting and that behavior was just so disgusting. Like, I downright hated that shit. But in season 5, the biggest issue was that she still can't do anything. Like, she got her ass beat by O-Father, then she barely defeated Dogman. It's second last episode and Starlight can't fight Dogman. Like, what are we doing here? I did kind of like episode with her father. I mean, to me, it didn't feel that necessary because they never set up her daddy issues or her troubles with her father to that extent that, we needed an entire episode. But still, I like, how the show used that episode to show us what kind of world it had become because of, the extremism brought in by Homelander. And after the badass flight in season 4, we only got to see her fly twice, I think. Once is when she saves Huey, and second time was extremely stupid. Oh my god, like Starlight, what is wrong with you? She takes Deep, the king of the sea, right? Like, this man is at his strongest in the sea, and she takes him and directly smashes him at a beach. Are you... Now, we know that it is a problem for Deep because he has been outcasted by the ocean, but Starlight doesn't know it. So this dumbass just brought him at sea. Not just that, but while fighting him, the biggest move she does is throw Deep inside ocean. Starlight, you cannot do anything. God damn it, you're useless, okay? And if that wasn't enough, just like half of other characters in this show, she also just keeps going back and forth at times on what to do with Huey and that relationship. However, I could still go, Starlight sucks, whatever, just ignore it.
I don't understand. He wasn't supposed to. It's impossible.
Sister Fraud, on the other hand, God damn, I could not stand her. I was genuinely pissed by the end of the show, like every time she was on her screen. This character was garbage, okay? Dear showrunners, if you don't have capacity to write extremely smart characters, that's fair game, okay? Like, it's not easy. Then don't introduce them. Simple. Entire season 4, they just kept, blue-balling the audience that, oh, she's this genius, she has this crazy plan, like she's gonna do something amazing. They never showed anything. They never showed her plan anything, prepare anything, nothing. Just like events play out as they normally would, and they just gave all the credit to her by the end of season 4. It's like, yeah, actually, you know what? She's the one who did all of this. What? And somehow they managed to make her worse in season 5. This entire time they pretended, like she got some crazy idea. Oh, she's gonna do it. Oh, she's gonna play Homelander like a puppet. Her entire plan depended on the fact that Soldier Boy will see that video of Stormfront and Homelander, and he will be pissed, and then they will always be apart. Like, that's it? And the reason for that not working was so stupid. What is going on here? Is it like Interstellar Climax? Love is the answer? She didn't calculate Soldier Boy's love for Homelander? That's why the plan didn't work? This was written, this was edited and passed out by like group of people. And by the last episode, they made it somehow even worse. This character was a certified scumbag. Okay, we all agree on that. She promoted concentration camps. She could have cured cancer, but intentionally didn't, just because vibes. She literally romanticized apocalypse and like wanted entire world's population to die just so that she can read books in peace, which is, by the way, extremely stupid reason and logic for a character that is supposed to be smart. Whatever. She is a downright terrible, evil person who caused God knows how much misery, countless deaths and injuries. And she gets to have happy ending by the end? What? What is wrong with people who made this show? She literally loses all of her intelligence, becomes 100 times more annoying, and every single dialogue that comes out of her mouth, after Kimiko Soldier Boy blasts her and she becomes dumb, was cringe. And like she's just going to Harry Potter world by the end and gets to enjoy life in peace as a stupid person. That is the worst possible ending you could have given to this character. I've been trashing this show for a while, so you know what, let's talk about some good things. We all know this part is not gonna take long. But one thing, special effects team. They still did really good job. I know they didn't have the budget, but every time, somebody's head exploded, somebody died, people flying around, anything, I never noticed anything that was fake looking or bad or anything. Same with costume designers. The new character introduced, Oh Father, her look was really good. I think they did a very good job of casting him and like creating his persona. That was really good. And overall, every single performance was fantastic. Like, I have zero complaints in that regard. I think the character of Frenchie was a little bit at times, but Anthony Starr, especially in final episode, his performance was amazing. Something we are going to remember for a very long time. I genuinely appreciate that actors did not give up, because they clearly know that the show has gone down the gutter, right? They read the scripts, but they still chose to give their best, do some of the best performances in TV. There are also a couple of, fun standout scenes which make you realize that this show had so much potential before it got wasted. This very small talk between Soldier Boy and Butcher, like it's entertaining as hell. Or when you see Huey mimicking Butcher.
Oi! This shot is diabolical.
It's all fun stuff. There are little nuggets of this entertainment, I think, in every episode. Also in the episode where everyone loses their head. I know the reason is really trash why that happens, but still, the dynamic between all of these characters was entertaining. I think makeup was also really good. All the blood or gory work was well done. And I know this show kind of sucked because of too many indoor set pieces, but a couple of them were genuinely good. I think they tried to make it work, in places where they could make it interesting. That scene where Soldier Boy talks to that creepy guy in the wall, I think that entire design was great. And also, nah, nothing. Like, I think that's it. That's the only thing I can appreciate.
Not your call, Prophet Muhammad. Look.
This show is not that heavy on romantic relationships, but anytime they happened, they were bad, at least in the last couple of seasons. First, let's go with Hugh and Starlight. This couple is way past its prime. They were kind of interesting in the earlier seasons, but last couple of seasons, just downright garbage. Like, ever since the ending of season 3, where, you know, they retcon Huey's character, like, Huey for me is one of the strongest and most confident guy in the group, and that's why he is the moral compass, right? That man is not scared of his emotions. But they tried to change it in season 3 and made him this insecure, loser-ish character just so that him and Starlight can have a conflict, which was garbage. And I'm gonna mention it again because I hated that shit so much. In season 4, when she makes fun of Huey for being assaulted. God, how am I supposed to take this couple seriously after that? And it's not like they do something amazing season 5. They try to shoehorn a couple of scenes, you know, that, oh, they're just looking at clouds and making shapes. Isn't that very cute? I don't buy this couple. Like, initially I did, but I don't care. Like, at the end, you know, when Annie's pregnant, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I just don't care. Butcher and Homelander, in very small scenes they have together, they have far better chemistry than Huey and Starlight. I'd say even Soldier Boy and Homelander, even those two have better chemistry than Huey or Starlight. And let's mention the other couple as well, Frenchie and Kimiko. I think they were genuinely very cute initially, right? Like when Kimiko couldn't talk and Frenchie genuinely had this soft spot for her and they, you know, kind of completed each other in a weird way. That was really adorable. But because the show has dragged for last couple of seasons so much, I think they just don't know what to do with them. I mean, it was really epic when Kimiko screamed by the end of season 4, but, you know, everyone wished in season 5 that she didn't. Her talking with Frenchie was not good.
Shoot off! Sliced into by Homelander! Shot here, here, here! It hurt every time, but the virus?
Okay, their chemistry immediately got much worse. And just like everything in the show, they keep going back and forth, you know. At one point, like, they're together, they're doing this wrestling, and then suddenly, oh, we need to break up. That was genuinely so bad when Kimiko suggests Frenchie, you know, that, hey, we need to break up because our plans for future don't align. Or suddenly, you know, like she's mad at Frenchie and then Frenchie's like, you know what, maybe I suck and whatnot. That entire dynamic kind of got really bad. I stopped caring about them as well. I kind of felt really bad for actress who plays Kimiko. I think her name is Karen. Yeah. She was giving her all in the final scene, you know, when Frenchie dies. Like, she's just doing everything in her capacity to be emotional here. And the scene itself was just so bad. The way Frenchie dies and everything happens in this episode is just so terrible. I couldn't take it seriously. Not to mention that the guy who plays Frenchie is not that good of an actor. His performance was like, ugh. So that entire moment was basically dependent on Karen, and I just felt bad. I kind of felt bad for all actors, to be honest, in this last couple of seasons. They're giving their all just for the horrible, horrible... No! I'm just happy that I didn't watch Gen V at all. That saved me a lot of time. But I do feel really bad for people who, you know, were invested in that series because they watched like, what, 16 hours of material for it to go nowhere. It is beautiful how this season managed to piss off both people. People who saw Gen V and people who didn't saw Gen V. People who didn't saw Gen V, they were like, okay, who is this girl? And why suddenly, like, she's supposed to be important, but she's not? What is she doing with Starlight? Everyone who didn't saw Gen V was kind of lost. Who are these two chicks and why am I supposed to care? On the other hand, people who did watch Gen V, they got it much worse. Imagine they spent 16 hours following these two characters, I believe. You know, and from what I heard, they really hyped up this chick, especially. Like, that she's really strong and she's gonna do something crazy. They had expectations and they got nothing. Show literally just threw these two characters and throw them in garbage. You go away. Like, we don't care about you. We need more time to promote What Rising. And I think they also cancelled Gen V. So you watch 2 seasons worth of material, get emotionally invested. That story in itself doesn't get concluded. And the characters who were supposed to have cool moments in The Boys, they were thrown in garbage. So to everyone who watched Gen V, I'm really sorry that you had to go through that.
Daddy's home.
Everyone knows, let's say it together, finale was extremely rushed, right? It was bad. It had a couple of moments here and there.
Some responsibility for yourself.
No! But for the most part, it was genuinely just terrible. It was exactly what everyone expected, you know. They wasted all the time in earlier episodes and then just tried to smush together everything in 60 minutes. After being promised scorched earth multiple times, death and destruction of entire world at the hands of Homelander, all we got was a burnt carpet and a flimsy fight inside Oval Office where they just go and kill Homelander. That was really bad. But you know what makes you sad? In the moments where Butcher and Homelander meet each other and how their eyes light up, it's very sad to imagine the potential there. Like, it could have been so much better. Or when Homelander loses his power, how he starts behaving this pathetic manner. Anthony Starr does such a good job of selling that scene. Oh my god. To realize that, that lasted for like 15 seconds, 10 seconds, and that's it. Imagine if they, flashed it out a little bit, how Homelander behaves without his power, do something creative with it. It would have been so good. Not to mention that they, adjust Homelander's power however they please. In the first episode, he can just immediately cut Kimiko in half. But in final episode, when he needs that, he can't. Now Kimiko is just like a little bit hurt and suddenly she's like, haha, Soldier Boy blast, Homelander is dead. Good work, team, yay! Same with Butcher and his villain arc. They hyped it up for so long. I think ever since the middle of season 4, like, we knew that he's gonna become a villain. In season 4, he becomes a villain. And what do we get? 5-minute scene between him and Huey, where, he's gonna kill all the soups, but Huey's like, no, you're not, I'm gonna kill you. And then Huey kills him. Even that scene genuinely made me sad because, the dynamic between Huey and Butcher was amazing. Both actors are killing it at selling, this work. When Butcher is just sitting there, in the Vought office, I felt sad, but not because Butcher was dead, because just constant realization that, oh my god, this could have been so much better. You had the perfect actor, you had the perfect setup, and you completely threw it in garbage. Between all of this, the worst part is the actual ending, because it was extremely nihilistic, and I don't think that was intentional. The boys did not win at the end. The show never delivered on their promise, even after ending it. The main conflict, the main fight of the show, was the boys versus Vought as a corporation. It wasn't Butcher versus Homelander. Sure, it was a very important part of it, but that wasn't the final fight. And at the end, we never got a conclusion for it. Sure, Homelander is dead, but Vought is still there. Stan Edgar is still there. He's just gonna create Homelander 2.0. Who is stopping him? Huey is not doing shit from his little video store. A terrible business idea as well, financially, by the way, in 2026. But that is not gonna happen. We never got destruction of Vought itself. And I don't care if they are going to do in Vought Rising. That's a spin-off. They promised me ending in The Boys. They set it up here, and they didn't do it. And for me, this is the biggest scam of all. They literally did not finish the show.
They stole it from me, Carmine! They took it! That was today! Today!
After spending 5 seasons with the boys and their adventure, the world will be exactly the same in a couple of months. So despite a couple of entertaining moments here and there and fantastic performances by actors, for me the finale was a stinking pile of trash. Absolute dog trash. I hated it.
Running a truck under the name Don T. Be a cunt.
So because they spent 50% of this final season just promoting Vought Rising and dicking around with Soldier Boy, here's a list of things that they didn't finish. What happened to Zoe and her dad? She was supposed to be a very important part of the story, especially after Victoria Newman, her mother, dies. What happened with her? Who knows? What happened with Zoe and Ryan working together and doing something about it? They lead nowhere. They also set up this crow lady in second episode, and she's also, I think, very famous actress, right? Like, they were pretending the entire episode that she's very important. She will maybe come in play later, got some dynamic with Mother Smith, but nothing happens after that. She completely disappears. Then we also have those psychic superheroes. Homelander released all the notorious, dangerous psychic superheroes out in the wild, and they're still out. The boys didn't capture them and put them back together. So what happened with them? We don't know. Another thing I don't understand is that if Soldier Boy has this, this nuclear blast that can take away any superhero's power, even if they have V1, right? Like, he takes away Bombsight's power as well. So why was he scared of Homelander the entire time? Why did he care if Homelander gets V1 or not? He can beat him anyway. Just a single blast and Homelander is done. Not to mention the way Homelander behaved in that final fight. They could have killed him anytime easily. Just 4 or 5 moderately strong superheroes and they can take on V1 Homelander. So that entire thing was completely pointless, didn't go anywhere. Also, because of timing issues, Ryan went missing for majority of the show. Sure, he did come up in finale and helped defeat his father, but for being such an important character in the show, he barely had any screen time. Only notable thing he had was that, you know, when they ripped off Invincible and Homelander beats him up, that's it. Also, what happened to that virus in sprinkler system? It's not like they can just open the pipes and remove it. And as I already mentioned, like they kind of forgot that what still exists, meaning, you know, everything is exactly same as it was in beginning of season 1. Also, this is just me scratching the surface. There is, like, if you think about it, plenty of other things they set up and completely forgot.
And I respect it when a criticism is leveled in an articulate way.
My final takeaway from this is that I am worried and I'm way more skeptical than I was before. Nowadays, I'm watching a show and suddenly studio decides, you know, that we are also doing a spin-off on side. I don't trust that show anymore. I'm not gonna continue with it. That's my decision. Like, if I'm watching, doesn't matter how good that show is, if they start doing spin-offs or they have like very detailed plans for spin-offs even before the original show is done, I'm not watching it anymore. I'm also now really worried about Invincible because it is also produced by Amazon and it is fantastic. Season 4 was the best season so far, and looking at the animation quality and same issues as Boys, you know, like wasting so much money on big cameos, getting in producers and their friends on it. I am genuinely worried that they will ruin it in future seasons or they will shoehorn some kind of spin-off or nonsense like that. Even in that show, if you watch season 1 and you compare it with season 4, you can clearly see like differences in budget. Amazon is again doing the same tricks. Do really fantastic production on season 1 and then start cutting corners later. I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared because I really love Invincible. It is an amazing show.
I'm like very grateful for all of it, and I couldn't thank you guys enough, so thank you.
First of all, I'm really sorry for being this late. This video was supposed to come out at least a week ago, but right now I'm still just done recording it and it will take me at least, you know, 4 or 5 days to finish editing and do all the thumbnails, come up with interesting titles and whatnot. That also takes a lot of time. So give or take, it will take another 5 days for me to upload it. So I am 2 whole weeks behind my planned schedule, but still I will do my best to make this video as good as possible. But I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't get that many views, you know, because the topic has been over discussed by now. But hopefully, you know, my video still provides some interesting angles and some fun for you guys. And I also hope that this video provides you some kind of validation, because for me at least, that feeling of betrayal is really strong. After season 3, I genuinely believed in this show, you know, that, oh, maybe the finale is terrible, but they will make it work. After season 4, I was still optimistic. I was like, you know what, maybe this is one of the dirt season, but they will make it work in season 5 somehow. But they didn't. By the end of season 5, it was very obvious that they were just tricking us. So I'm pretty sure that you also feel betrayed and terrible about this show. And I hope this video, you know, makes you a little bit happier after that awful ending of season 5. And if you actually watched the entire video to this point, you are awesome. I really appreciate your support. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye, take care, and have some fun with fiction.